Okie dokie.
Yeah, let me know when you're streaming it.
It is live now. Okay. Can y'all tell me if the music is too loud?
There's
Oh,
Cecil
okay.
pop up.
Oh, I see Mixer.
Oh. You want to see something cool, Barry? Watch this. Hold on, ready? Zoop. Then I'm gonna move y'all back.
Oh, that's cool.
Right? It's nice. It's nice. I spent a lot of time on that. It took me for freaking ever. I was like, oh god. And now it's gonna be all weird because I have to put it on that and then go live and then this and then talking about Demon Slayer at everyone.
Not showing our cameras anymore, by the way.
I know. See? Now it's back.
Oh, okay.
It's because I have to switch
oh,
it
okay.
and because it's on Guild, it's weird. It's my whole jerry rigged setup. And now I have to go on YouTube for the las medias sociales, the social socks. And then I have to go here, share, copy, go back to Instagram, paste, say podcasting with amigos. Your story. Oop, done and done. Okay. Hi guys. We have a special guest today. We have Very Quirky. She is a Twitch streamer. She is a flightless bird, apparently. Something like that.
Flightless bird.
Yeah, Barry, if you want to just tell everybody who you are and what you do.
What's up? My name is Barry Quirky. I am 25. I am an avid Star Wars, Marvel, and anime fan. So I'm very pumped and excited to be joining Otaku Jedi on his podcast for season 2 of Demon Slayer. So super looking forward to it. My socials are Very Quirky, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram. So yeah, if you
Twitter,
wanna follow me.
Fanhouse, Grubhub, Coffee, you name it.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Everything, basically all platforms is very quirky. So I have a cool enough, unique name for that. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Unknown, if you'd like to, you can as well. I mean, you usually do it at the end, but
yeah, we just keep on going.
Okay,
it's all right.
So we are going to be discussing the Entertainment District arc. Now that it's over, it's been a week since it's been over, right? It's been more than a week now, right?
In a week and a half.
Yeah. Because it ended last Sunday, not this Sunday.
Right.
So we're just gonna give our thoughts about it. Arc Entertainment District on YouTube. So yeah, we're just gonna talk about that, and let's talk about the general theme of Demon Slayer. First of all, everyone says that it's carried by its animation. Here's my issue with that entire statement. Do you want to watch something that has crappy animation?
No, but the fact that they say the story is trash,
and that's the other thing. And I think
like wild. Because I read the manga before I started even watching the anime, and I fell in love with it. Like before all this fucking crazy ass animation, which is pretty top tier, but it doesn't carry the whole anime.
No, and I think that the characters themselves, the villains, like the fact that you sympathize with the villains even from like the beginning of the series, says a lot about the story. But then you have, I guess now it's trendy to be to not like something that's very popular. But there was a statistic that said, what did it say? It was 30. Was it 30? Either 30 or 40% of Japanese households watch Demon Slayer on the day that it airs. And you have to remember that here in the States, it airs at I think it airs at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. In Japan, it airs at 11:15 at night, Sunday night, going into Monday. So can you imagine, like, you're at home and your house, and your parents are like, no, you can't go to sleep. I don't care that you have school tomorrow. We gotta watch Demon
Right.
Slayer.
What's
Get your
the
ass
player?
up. It's crazy. So who wants who? What were your thoughts? Your overall thoughts of like the entertainment district arc? Barry.
For the season 2
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
okay. So I personally I really loved it. And as always, I just loved Inosuke's chaotic energy. His chaotic energy just makes my day. And every time I see any scene with him, I just get so happy. And also I just really love the muscle mouse as well.
Yes, the
Very
muscle mice were
random.
hilarious.
Yes.
But the muscle mice
Hilarious,
just
yeah.
like made me chuckle. I just kept watching like little clips of it every time on YouTube because I just found it so hilarious that they came up with that. They're like much.
What's up, Big Slide? Yeah, I think those guys were absolutely hilarious. Unknown, what were yours?
I like the character development that they had this whole season.
Yeah.
Just the fact that Inosuke goes from not caring about the other two and like doing like his own thing to like wanting to be a team and actually following orders and like coming up with a plan with the other two.
You mean with Manjiro
With
Kamabucho?
Tanjiro, Kapupoko,
No,
right?
it's
Kapupuko,
Manjakuro.
Kapachiko, and Zenitsu. Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. I liked his character development.
Same.
During that whole series. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it as well. I'd have to say I like the whatchamacallit, the growth of the characters, but I also liked how they incorporated not just like Nezuko, but also the family and like how the whole family kind of coincide. Like I felt like the whole arc was about family because they talked about Nezuko's family. They talked about the Kamado family, which
Kamado.
is Nezuko and Tanjiro. They talked about the villains' families. They even talked about Tengen's family. And it was very interesting to see it like that.
Was it ninjas or was it samurais? It was ninjas, right?
He was a ninja. He was a shinobi.
It was ninjas. Yeah, shinobis. There you go.
Yeah. So I guess let's start talking about the trio. What did we end up calling them? Unknown. Remember you, me, and Player She came up with a name. Isn't it like the Lee 3, the 3 Lees?
The Lee 3. There we go. Yeah.
The Lee 3.
Because they like exude Rock Lee energy.
Rock Lee energy, yeah.
So Barry and both Unknown, you were both talking about Inosuke. I agree with both of you. I think Inosuke, his character has come a long way from where he first started. Because remember when they first met him, he whatchamacallit?
Fighting each other.
Yeah, he hated each other. He was beating the crap out of Tanjiro, and I think from then to Mugen Train to the Entertainment District arc,
right.
he has come leaps and bounds. Just like you said, he's working as a team when they came up with a plan to take out Daki, and his pompousness, I guess, in the beginning was very like, ugh. Even though you loved the character, it was very like, ugh. But now his pompousness is more of like, yeah, like you kind of back up. You're kind of like backing him up, and he kind of backs up what he needs to do with his actions. I don't know what else you guys think about that.
And it's also a good development to see Inosuke used to want to handle everything by himself, because obviously this guy was raised in the mountains, so he was always used to being independent, doing his own thing, not following orders. So whenever Tanjiro would tell him to do something, he'll be like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do what I want to do, all of the season 1. But now in season 2, we see he's cooperating more. He was like, okay, I may not like follow the lead all the time, but I'll do, I'll follow your lead, but then I'll also do what I want to do. You know,
Right.
he's like has developed from being just himself to being like
What's up,
more of a
Big Fly?
team player. You know.
Unknown. Everything you guys said, I was gonna that.
Right. I like the fight scene the little fight scene they had with Andrew's little sister, Nezuko.
Oh yes.
She was fighting the demon. I like that little fight scene they had.
I to be honest, I was just like, let's focus on the trio, but Nezuko's entire fight scene. I mean, I'm gonna keep going back to this. The animation was incredible. The whole thing is fantastic. I loved how they made her. Like when Daki had that flip, when she freaked out, you saw that she was a little kid, you know.
Yeah.
And Nezuko, like she changed her whole appearance and whatnot. But then when Tanjiro sang that song, she reverted back to that little kid that she really was. And to be honest, I thought it was absolutely awesome. Barry? About Nezuko?
Great, yeah.
Oh wait, me?
Yeah. No.
Okay, I thought you were waiting
like,
for unknown.
Like I mean, you guys can just say things whenever you want. Don't wait for me.
Yeah, definitely for that. I was honestly so surprised when I saw Nezuko go into like another state. I was like, oh my gosh, no way, her demon self is manifesting even more and it's growing to another level to a point where if she keeps excelling as a demon, she's gonna not be able to control herself. And that's why Tanjiro, like you said before, had to go and calm her down. But that whole scene just left me shook. Seeing her grow taller, seeing her like, I think she got like those veins or whatever all over her body, and the horn growing out of her head. I was like, dude, that's so crazy and wicked. But you know, it was really touching too. Towards the end of the scene where Tanjiro was like, soothing her and giving her a lullaby, how he said, I'm so sorry, it's my fault that I put you through this. And I just kind of cried a little bit because he's trying to be the older brother, trying to protect his younger sister. And the fact that he felt that it was his fault, that because he wasn't able to, defeat Daki, that Nezuko had to go to her, full demon self in order to help her older brother. It made him feel like a failure because he's like, no, I'm supposed to be the older brother protecting my younger sister, And it was just such a sweet moment to see that he was like trying to calm her down again, and then she resorted to being calmed and also crying, and I loved it.
Just went to bed, yeah.
I love that like he brought her back to the little box. He was like, here you go, go back in your little home. It was awesome.
Carried it after.
Hey, what's up? How you doing? No, you're not late. We literally just started. I think we're like 5-10 minutes in. I think that the best character out of these three, and well, I guess 4 because of Nezuko as well. The best one, Zenitsu. In my opinion, it was Zenitsu. Zenitsu, like
Zenitsu was doing his thing.
He did. He absolutely did his thing. Mind you, he did his thing asleep.
Asleep, right?
he for me just like took out of all 4 of these characters.
He was zipping everywhere.
Yeah, he was everywhere, and especially when he spoilers if you haven't seen the whole series yet. Where he and Inosuke decapitated Daki. When he was he got out of the rubble and he just kept going. He didn't stop at all. Despite being asleep. He and even Inosuke said to him at one point, he was like, who are you? I like this person. And he was like, you're doing great, keep going. It was incredible because like he is, in the very first season when he meets him and then they go into that mansion, right, that like moves with the guy with the drums.
Yeah,
he did nothing. He fell asleep, killed the demon, and then woke up and was like, oh my god, what happened? And he was this scaredy cat. Which he still is because when
which happened again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. When he remember he woke up and he's like,
I'm hurt.
Tanjiro!
Oh.
Tanjiro! But like the entire time from when he woke up from Inosuke taking him out of the tentacles to the very end, he was just like going, and he did not stop. And
Yeah.
I thought that he was one of like the better, because everyone loves Tanjiro. Inosuke stands out on his own. People love Nezuko. I feel like Zenitsu doesn't get a lot of hype because he's just like a one-trick pony. But that one trick, he is a master of, and he did absolutely amazing.
Mastered it. He did, yeah. Is it like what, sixfold now? I think.
I don't. Yeah.
It was the sixfold, yeah, because before it was, I think, the first or second fold.
Yeah.
Now he's able to do the sixth. I was like, wait, he knows that now? I'm surprised.
Right.
Oh, so Barry, you know nothing about the series after this season, right?
No.
Okay, so Unknown.
And
that's fine.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm not
Unknown
saying I'm not saying beyond this season.
We've read the whole thing. We've read the whole series, and we're not going to ruin it for you because that would be messed up. So anything that we talk about is just going to be about this, and just this season. I really enjoyed how they've all grown together and individually, but it's been fun watching them change and grow together and learn to work together, especially in the last arc. Yeah, Barry said that, and Unknown said that as well. How especially Inosuke is like, hey, let's come up with a plan together. Although now that I think about it, he didn't really say let's come up with a plan together. He just kind of said, I'm gonna take care of Daki, and then Tanjiro was like, okay, and we'll back you up. That was really what it was, and I think it's like his weird subtle way of saying like, guys, I need your help, but I'm not gonna ask for it.
I mean, this man grew up in the woods, so like he hasn't like really spoke to or like worked with anyone else before, so I think this is like him slowly learning how to work with people, and
That's
like
true.
also learning social cues as well,
Yeah.
And like, because he didn't know that he was a wild boar man, so this man is developing more each season and knowing what to do and like how to help in his own way.
Yeah, and like even in the Mugen Train, like it was the last scene of the first season where he didn't understand what a train was. Like he doesn't know what a train is, which obviously to us is crazy, but you're right. He grew up in a mountain all by himself, raised by a boar. Obviously, I feel like the leader, the one that took the whole thing, was Tanjiro. He used his fire breathing more. Although it was kind of cool where he came to the realization that fire breathing isn't going to work here. Let me use water style. And he deflected all of those things. I thought that was great. And actually, when I watched it with my son, he was like, why doesn't he just use both? And then he used both. He was like, that's how you win this thing. And I was like, I guess so. Like I knew it was gonna happen, but I have to pretend like I don't know. He
¿Por qué no las dos?
Yeah, oh my god, what? This happened? I thought that I feel like his whole character was overshadowed by everybody else, but at the same time he still kind of like stood out, especially where he decapitated, I always forget the last villain's name, but it's Mr. Yeah. I don't do core, Mr. I just I forget his name, but like the moment for me that Tanjiro actually stood out wasn't just where he decapitated whatchamacallit,
Scythe Man.
It wasn't where Scythe dude, that's what we're gonna call him. It wasn't when he did that. It was when he was struggling. He pulled a Deku and had his fingers all messed up. And he was struggling, and then he was throwing stuff at Scythe guy, whose name I'll look up in a second. And he really had a plan the whole time. It's been like a solid year since I read the manga, so I don't remember a lot. And I was watching this and I'm like, what is he doing? I totally forgot this part. Like I remember the part where Tengen shows up and everything, but I didn't remember anything else after that. And then I thought to myself, what is he doing? And then he hits him with the freaking kunai that has the flower on there.
Oh yeah.
To stop him from and like that whole scene was just incredible. And I think the other thing that I liked about Tanjiro was how, well, I mean, I think it's what we all like about Tanjiro is that he sympathizes with the villain, you know? And he even, as he was decapitating him, he was like, this could have been me and Nezuko. This could have been us. Had I been there in the village, who knows? I might have survived and we would have become demons. And like, who would one of these people decapitate us? Right? And like, right there, it's just like, dude, this. I know that he's not the best MC. Like, he's definitely not the best main character in like all of manga, but he's definitely top tier. The guy is just so freaking wholesome. Thoughts on Tanjiro? Go.
Well, I mean, I feel kind of bad because Tanjiro, he is cool, but he isn't someone I'm that interested in because I just feel like he's bland compared to the other characters, in my opinion. You know, we have Nezuko, who's, you know, like this really interesting demon. Obviously, she can't talk, but she has like more personality than Tanjiro does. And then we have Zenitsu, who like he has a personality of his own, even though he's the weak one and the cryberry,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
And then we have Inosuke, who has like this very chaotic energy that's just like very aggressive and very competitive as well. That just, I feel like those personality just overshadows Tanjiro's very like bland, simple, but like older brother type of role. So that's why I can't really say I'm that interested in him.
Fair enough.
But he does. I do like how you pointed out to Otaku that he does sympathize a lot with the demons, which is really good because you know, when he's having the fights and all that stuff, you're like, yeah, beat him, but then like you realize, oh wait, these demons were once people too, and that's what Tanjiro gives us that realization, like, oh shoot, we gotta realize they were humans too, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's the only thing I like about Tanjiro, but other than that, I feel like he's just overshadowed by everyone else.
Yeah.
Great contribution, Diane. Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think that he's bland. Again, I completely respect your opinion. I don't think that he's bland, but I do agree with you that he is overshadowed by everybody else because he's just like, I think he's just meant so that the reader or viewer can relate to Tanjiro, because obviously not all of us are crybabies like Zenitsu, and not all of us are like crazy hyperactive like
Chaotic.
Huh? Chaotic, yes, chaotic. That is literally the perfect word. But I do feel like Tanjiro is the more relatable one, because you know he gets put in these situations where like you have to be brave, but you know it's not like if Zenitsu's gonna be brave, he's gonna pass out. If Inosuke's gonna be brave, he's gonna go all out, but you know, and not think things through. Whereas we, I guess, are supposed to relate to Tanjiro, which and I found out his name. It's Gyotaro. It's Daki and Gyotaro. Speaking of which, so we can leave the trio. All right. Do we want to talk about the villains first, or do we want to save them for last? Because I know Barry's like super hype about talking about the villains.
I am.
All right. Okay, so then let's talk about this man. Tengen Uzui. You know what? You guys go first. What was your what are your thoughts on this Hashira? I'll go with unknown
You
first.
can go unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, go ahead, unknown. I talk too much.
Hold on, he's yelling at somebody. Or no, his mom's yelling at him. La Chancla's about to come out. He doesn't have as loud or eccentric of a personality as the others, but he is the character that grounds the others and adds the steadiness to the story into the character's run.
Yeah, that's true.
Helen, that is like the most perfect way of putting Tanjiro. Like, there's no better way.
It's very true.
Like,
yeah,
it is. He does ground them. So much so that
sorry.
you know. You don't need to apologize. So much so that
I feel bad for calling him bland now. I mean,
no,
I don't know. I
you
feel like that was the only way for me to describe. But he's not bland. It's just that he's
Not
like
bland, but
overshadowed, you know.
he's
So
not as, he doesn't have as much personality as the others.
yeah,
Like she was saying,
that's
he's
exactly like
overshadowed.
that's the thing. You don't need to feel bad about calling him bland because in reality he's just a bland MC.
In a way, he is right.
But the thing that separates him from like say like Luffy or like a Naruto or Asta from Black Clover.
Out there.
Yeah. Like they're Naruto. Oh, I'm hyperactive, or
Hokage.
Yeah,
I could do whatever I want.
Yeah, Luffy. I'm gonna run
Right.
at whatever whoever's trying to attack me. I'm not even gonna think things through. Where Tanjiro is just, as Helen had put it. Thank you so much for putting that. Is that he is like just the ground. He is that rock and the steadiness that not just provides for the story. You're right, but also the characters. So Unknown. Would you like to talk about Tengen Uzui first, or?
Tengen. Okay, so when we first met the character, I didn't know what to think of him, right? Because literally he's introduced to us by, well, I guess we meet him at the Hashira meeting first, right?
Yeah, but
then later on,
there's not really like a lot.
Right, there's not really much, right? And then later on, we meet him by him stealing two of the girls from Shinobu's house or mansion, or whatever.
Yeah,
but he proved himself, at least to me, during that last fight against Gyutaro. He did his thing.
Yeah, to say the least. He did
after being poisoned, after being hurt, this man slowed his. What was it he did? He slowed his blood flow or whatever, so it doesn't
that
spread.
The poison doesn't spread. Yeah,
the poison spread. Right. For me, that was. He's a pretty good character for me.
Yeah,
he did no wrong that arc.
Barry?
I thought he was really funny. I liked him. I like that he kept like saying like, "Oh, that's not flashy." I'm like, "Oh, I'm the god of flashiness," and like this is how you become flashy. And the way he would just present himself, and then also how he learned to match the group's energy as well, because in the beginning Inosuke was like very competitive and loud with him, and Lord Tengu was like, what do you think you're doing, like being all loud and competitive with me, like I'm not the one. And then you see when they're in the what did Inosuke call it, like the cave where
the hole in the ground.
Yeah, there we go. When they were in there, he matched that same chaotic energy with Inosuke to like shut him up, you know? Yeah. So like at first he didn't really know what to make of the group. He like, it felt like he was a babysitter in a kind of way, trying to tell him, okay guys, we're going here, so like this is how you need to behave. And then eventually he started getting to know them, and then matching their energy, and then learning how to work with them,
Mm-hmm.
So I like that in a way he was like kind of like a teacher, but also he was doing his own thing, like saying, okay, like this is what you guys need to do, but based on my mission, okay, like this is the main mission. But then he did everything he can to accomplish what was needed to be done. Mm-hmm. And also I thought it was really interesting that he had 3 wives too, so I was like one of them is really annoying. He got 3 wives, or
no? I think that that's just the way that his family line runs, or something. I mean, they're all shinobi, like that was established, that they're female shinobi and things like that. But I don't think they ever went into detail as to how. I know that Zenitsu was super mad that he had 3 wives.
Yeah, he was jealous.
He was super jealous. I knowing what I know, I went into this like, again, it's been about a year since I read the whole thing, so I forgot a lot of it. I probably have to go back and reread it to catch things before this next arc. But just like you said, Unknown, it was funny. Like, you meet him and he's like kidnapping two kids, basically, right? And then they go to the entertainment district, and all this stuff shows up, and he then ends up selling the boys to be like girls.
Yeah.
and like that was hilarious in itself. um the I think Barry hit it where he matched their energy, and they kind of looked up to him in a teacher kind of way. Like, we understand that you're our senior and everything. We kind of want to be like you, because Inosuke was like, I'm the lord of the, when he was like, I'm the lord of flashiness, and he's like, okay, well, I'm the lord of the mountains, and they were both like, what, weirdo. And then uh um with Zenitsu, he was just kind of like, okay, buddy, like, you come on, do something. And in return, Zenitsu got very angry with him, but I felt like, even though it was sort of jealousy, it was more so of like admiration. Like, I kind of want to be like you, because I love women like Zenitsu does, and this man just happens to have 3 wives. And I felt like he was, and Gyarados of Troy just said it, he's also very kind to his wives and treats each one of them with respect. It's very wholesome and sweet. And I remember making a TikTok about that like, he shows that he really does care about them, which I can see how Tanjiro can gravitate to that, because even though he's fierce and flashy and very like blah, 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 he's also very like kind and considerate, and,
right.
All of the things that you would really want in a human being. I thought it's funny now, because my son and I were talking about this. He was like, how many Hashira are there? And I was like, well, Rengoku's gone, and there's supposed to be 9 of them. And then we were talking about who do we think is better, Tengen or Rengoku?
Yeah, because the only ones we've seen so far.
Those are the only ones we've seen so far. Yes, I mean, like, we've seen the other ones.
Well, I guess right, the water and Shinobu, I guess, but not in a full-fledged fight.
Yeah,
any top.
I'd have to say, to be honest, like, I love Rengoku. I think I love the animation that they did, where he was going up against the top, the number 3 demon, and like he gave him his all and everything. But I really think that Tengen takes the cake, for me at least, because like he had one hand and he still kept going.
In terms of fighting, yeah. In terms of actual character, I'd go for Rengoku.
Yeah. I guess you're right, because Rengoku was more of a cool, calm, collect, where this guy's like the Stark.
Right.
I do like how he was very, like, compassionate with his wives. And then Unknown, you said that there was one who was really annoying.
There was, yo. Especially at the end.
It was the one with her hair that was down. Oh my god. Right? It wasn't
Maki.
Yeah. It was
Suma.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
Where she grabbed Nezuko and was like, "What are you doing? Let him go. Why are you burning him?"
He's like, "Wait, I'm better. What are you doing?"
I know. And it's funny, because there's been a lot of comparisons, like, on social media and on Twitter and things like that his 3 wives relate very well to the 3 main characters. Like, the one who shot all those kunai out it resembles very much Tanjiro,
Right.
The
crybaby
Zuma,
Zenitsu.
Yes, Zenitsu, and then the Makio, who's like more of is more of Inosuke.
Inosuke, yeah.
So it's interesting how, like, his wives are also mirrored by the main characters, and I think that's another reason why he gravitates to them and works so well with not just his wives, but also the main characters. So now let's get to the topic that Barry has been dying to talk about.
Oh, wait. Okay, just one more thing.
Okay.
I think it's kind of foreshadowing too, because at the beginning, when he was telling, Inosuke, Tanjiro, and Zenitsu, like, okay, you guys are gonna go to, disguise yourselves as women to, like, meet up with my wives and stuff. He's like, I trust my wives, like, they're very good shinobis. I feel like, in a way, that could be foreshadowing, like, him trusting his wives, but also trusting them too, because they have similar personalities,
That's true.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
Just like you mentioning
Very
it,
true.
I'm like, wait, isn't that, like, kind of foreshadowing how he, like, trusts his wife so well that he's also gonna trust them with that same, because they have, like, similar energy with, like, each other.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know, that was mind blowing for me right now.
remember that the arc also ends with them retiring. Remember, they're done with this life.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I wouldn't. The dude doesn't have an arm
With
anymore.
one arm, you
Yeah.
can't. Right.
You
He
can't.
was a two sword fighter.
But remember, even with one hand, he was still swinging those things around. Like in my opinion, one of the best scenes that he had was where he went to go. He threw, like, when he had both of his arms, he went to go slice the head off, right? And Gyutaro backed up, and then somehow the blade came out even more because he was holding it with his finger, like on the very edge. It's like,
Yeah.
this man is ridiculous. Ridiculous. All right. Are you should we just let Barry go? Should we just let Barry go on?
Go ahead.
Off? All right. So we have Daki and we have her brother Gyutaro.
Gyutaro.
I say it in English, Gyutaro. So
Taro.
Daki is 13 and Gyutaro is, I forget how old he's. I think he's like a couple years older. He's like, he must be like 17 or something.
Yeah, that's what I was
he's
thinking. I
older.
feel like he's 6.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah, he has to be at least 3,
Are
4.
they both 13? No, they both.
No, it couldn't be because he was abused as a kid until she came
Or
along.
he's probably older than that because
Yeah, no,
I think
you
he was
don't know
like,
how old he is. He's older than 13 though, but she is 13 and cannot.
yeah, because he was around 8 when she was born.
Yeah, so he's older than that, and they're both chronologically they're 126 years old. So
Yeah.
The floor is yours now, Barry. You can go off on all of the things that you want to talk about.
Okay, so first off, I liked how they were a sibling demons because that was a twist that I was not expecting. Like this whole time I was like, "Oh, they just need to, cut off her head and she's done." But then like once her head was cut off, I'm like, "Okay, why isn't she dead? Like why is she still there?" And then we see that Gyutaro, emerges out of her. I'm like, "Oh shoot. Look at this. This is a plot twist right here." I was like all excited, like, okay, they finally got Daki. Now what? But then we get this twist that they're a sibling demon, which I thought was freaking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And also I loved how towards the end that Tanjiro just like saw like those demons as like, this is what me and Nezuko could have been, like you mentioned before, had if I didn't go out. And I thought that was like mind-blowing for me too, because I'm like, oh shoot, like this is what they could have been. But then Tanjiro said like, but I hope that a demon slayer would give me the respect of like cutting off my head because I don't want to live as a demon. That's the difference between Nezuko and Tanjiro compared to these siblings. Like these siblings, they became demons because like their lives were so bad that they're like, okay, our life is better because we're more feared and people like listen to us more because of that fear because we're demons. Whereas like Nezuko and Tanjiro, they don't want to be demons because that is, they just put fear onto other people, whereas they see it as like an escape.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a great comparison to sibling demons and like what Nezuko and Tanjiro could. I love it. But anyways, I'll let you guys talk more and then I'll jump in because I go on too much.
Go ahead, Unknown.
I kind of liked Gyutaro better than Daki, personally.
Okay.
I like this fighting style. I like the whole scythe and how back to how they showed that they were humans at one point.
Yeah.
They showed how he was an older brother. He'd always protect his little sister, just like Tanjiro and Nezuko.
Yeah. Especially because when Tengen chopped your head off. First of all, that his whole entrance where he like came in,
was amazing.
sliced her head off, and you didn't even know yet, and then went right up
Right.
to Tanjiro and was like, dude, this is the demon that you told our master that she's gonna be good, and now she's acting like this. What the hell's wrong with you? And then he just ignored her, and she's like, what are you doing? And he's
Right.
like, stop, don't talk to me, go somewhere. And then her head just fell off.
Yeah.
And like that, so the fact that they're siblings is incredible. I thought that dynamic was really like really well done, especially where like in this picture that's up on the stream, you can see that they even share eyes, right? Like
Yeah.
so that way they can coordinate their attacks and work perfectly. And I thought that was amazing. I agree with you. I like his, or no, I agree with you. I like his fighting style more because hers was just like an extension of what she was, whereas him,
Right.
he was actually trying to fight. I thought that before he emerged, I thought that she was a great villain. I didn't think that she would have survived if the trio came and attacked her, because I mean, Tanjiro was doing well by him. Well, he wasn't doing well, but he was doing okay by himself. And even when they both came to, you know, when he emerged, Zenitsu and Inosuke were still holding their own. You know, not as well as they could have, but they were still holding their own. I think the idea of having to decapitate both of them was a great.
It was a nice twist.
It was an amazing twist. It was so
Right.
like just something so simple, you know,
Different.
like made it that much better, because she got decapitated. You didn't know what the hell happened, and I think Barry, you hit the head on the you hit whatever the expression.
Nail on the head.
Yeah, thank you. You hit the nail on the head, where you were like, you know, Tanjiro always sympathizes with Nezuko, and Gyutaro, even though he's freaking crazy and like just a hot mess, he still comforted her when she was freaking out. And she was like, you know, like he decapitated me. This isn't the guy, and blah 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 blah. And he was just like, okay, calm down, like relax, like a brother does. And a lot of deep sibling mental health happening here. There is. Ocean, would you like to join? I can change the scenes pretty quickly if you would like to join. Let me know. We're in Gilded though, so it might be. You know, I know that you're not a Gilded person because you never stop in and say hello to anybody, but whatever. I thought it was absolutely great, and I did like he was clearly the better of
Master
the two. Yeah, he was the better of the two. Mainly because like he pressed them a lot more. And when let me tell you something. I've read this. I knew it was gonna happen, but when he stuck Inosuke, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I knew nothing was gonna happen. But like it was just that moment, you know, he's running away, he's like ha 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 ha.
Animation of it.
I was like, it blew me away because the animation is good. You know?
Up to you, right?
Oh no, Gilded is dope. Give me a few. All right, well, okay. And the crazy thing is that, like, for example, Naruto, I forget, why can't I remember the writer of Naruto? But he's a man, and like he can't write. Like the reason why Sakura intended, yes, Kishimoto, thank you. Kishimoto can't write women. That's why Tenten and
Sakura,
all those,
yeah,
like they had just awful everything, right? Demon Slayer is written by a woman. I don't know if you guys know that. And even though this Daki could have been the main villain, she still gave it to Gyotaro, because in reality, like he really was the driving force, especially because after they thought that they beat Tengen and then Zenitsu was under that rubble and Inosuke was supposedly dead, she just kind of like laid back and let him do the work, you know. And I think not only that, but it also shows like that siblingness, because little kids are kind of like, if you don't give me direction, I'm not gonna do anything. Whereas he, being the older one, constantly taking care of them, was like, well, I'm gonna take charge. I like, kudos to them. Like they were amazing villains, and I think what really encompassed that siblingness was where they were both beheaded, and she was yelling at him, and then he started saying a whole bunch of stuff. Think about, if you have siblings, think of your own sibling, like how much you, like, sometimes you can't stand them, and you just say the most ridiculous stuff to them that you don't mean.
But you don't mean, right?
And he was just like, you should have never been born, blah 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 blah. And then Tanjiro just covered his mouth and he was like, don't say that. Like, you don't mean any of that. And that, not just obviously what we've been talking about, where the villains are sympathized, like the viewer sympathizes for the villains. That in itself just like was really good, where they made the siblings really feel like they were siblings.
And it cuts the cutscene into the whole backstory.
Yeah. And it like, and I in my TikTok, I even said that. I said, I know that they're the villains, but like, I was rooting for them.
Right.
Where when she got burned alive, and then he was like, oh, I'm gonna F the samurai up. But first I'm gonna kill the lady that hired the samurai. I thought that was perfect. All right, Barry, what other thoughts do you have? Because I know I can see the wheels turning. I'm just saying, like, any other thoughts on these two?
Let's see. But yeah, more to like go off on Inosuke. When I saw that he got stabbed, I was like, they're not going to kill my favorite character off of this series. I will write, because I'm like, there is no way he could survive off of that. I'm like, I was just like freaking out because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure he just stabbed him in the heart. How can he recover? And then we find out that this chaotic man like somehow learned how to move his organ from like living in the freaking mountains. I'm like, are you serious? This is how this is how he avoided this poison? I don't know. I was just like freaking out once I saw that scene happen. I was like, not my boy Inosuke. I need my chaotic little man to survive. I need to see him all the way to the end. I love him so much. And yeah, I really love the sibling relationship. And I also love the backstory between from Yutaro. I think that's how you say it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just the backstory, how all of the villagers, like, they did not like him at all because he was ugly, and then they treated him so unwell, and then even his own mother abused him.
Yeah.
So messed up as well. Like, I felt so bad for that man. And then like he eventually learned, like, oh, I could be a taxpayer and like, make all these people fear me and have respect and all that stuff. But then like once he finally like got that respect from people because he was a taxpayer and like people had to like comply with him, then he felt like his power diminished because his sister got burnt, and that's when this man was like, that was a turning point for him, because like with his sister, he felt like on top of the world. He was finally feared and respected by people because he was a payer, and like people had more respect for him because his sister was beautiful, and like they wanted to be on her good side, so they treated him better. But then now that came crashing because she died. So the backstory behind them was really interesting, and I really enjoyed it.
There was oh, that's right. I don't think they tell you who the guy that I'm not gonna say his name, but the guy who basically changes Daki and Gyutaro into a demon.
I don't think they say his name.
I know his name. Because it's been like all over TikTok, and
yeah,
now there's all these like people who are sipping over him. But well, you know what? I'm not even gonna get into it because that's like way down the road, and I don't want to ruin it for you,
Yeah.
Barry. But but yeah, these two were great. Like I'm really, and it's also interesting because like every villain so far has been some kind of, so like Ryu RUI, he was the spider dude. He was like
Yeah.
6th of the lower 12, right? He was a lower
Yeah.
6th. Yeah, he was a lower 6th.
4 6. Yeah.
And that gave him gave Tanjiro a ton of trouble. And then in the Mugen train, he was the first of the lower 12, right? He ended up becoming number 1 of the lower 12, yeah, because Muzan ended
Yeah.
up killing all of them. He 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 basically like became the Mugen train, and
Yeah.
his head was in the cart. And then these two are basically just two demons that are fused into one. And every time they've given us a villain, it has been like something you don't expect. Like in Dragon Ball, it's always somebody who's
Always something
stronger.
different.
You know, it's always a. I know, Mister. I love Dragon Ball so much. But it's
Dragon Ball's
true.
not my favorite anime, but let's go with it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's always
No, I get it.
a
Yeah.
villain, right? And then they're super
It's always
strong.
super strong. Oh,
Yeah.
Goku finds a way, he powers up, or
And same thing in
he finds
Naruto.
this
You know,
special
Naruto
thing.
is
You know what I'm saying?
is I'm gonna fight you, but then I'm gonna hit you with Talk no Jutsu, and then you're gonna be good. And then like this is not like, and this is just my opinion because I know a lot of people will probably disagree. This is definitely one of those things where it's like every villain they've given you is completely different from the previous villain.
Yeah.
Like the Mugen Train
Their
one,
own
different from you. These two completely
unique
different.
in their own way.
Yeah, and going down the line, all the villains will be different. It's I don't know. In my opinion, it's very, very good. I know a lot of people will give it flack and tell it, say, oh, it's the animation is what carries it. The story's mid and like all this garbage and whatnot. And that's fine, but like from an adult's perspective, not from a child's perspective, because that's usually where these statements come from. It's really good. I think they have done an incredible job with this entire series so far.
Yeah, they did their thing.
What was the last question that I said to you guys? It was I mean, Unknown and I already know what's gonna happen, but as someone who doesn't know what's gonna happen, Barry, what do you expect from the series going forward?
So I feel like now knowing what Nezuko's potential is, I feel like they're gonna start training her on how to control it,
Mhm.
when she goes her like super Saiyan demon self. I feel like they're gonna learn how to control it. So kind of like how Izuku Midoriya has to like control his
quirk.
his quirk. Nezuko has to learn how to control her full demon self and not let it go out of control like it did before.
Right.
So I have a feeling that next season it's probably gonna focus a little bit on that and how she can manage to control it, because now Tanjiro knows that is a potential for it going mayhem and him having to be more protective and look out for her more, so that it doesn't go out of control like it did before. So I feel like we're gonna probably see Tanjiro being more protective than usual, trying to make sure that she doesn't fight as much like she did before, because he's scared that she might go super demon mayhem. And then but also like Nezuko needing to have that training in order to be her demon self, but then also don't be too much of her demon self.
Yeah.
Right, don't let it get out of control.
That's one of my theories with it. But as with Zenitsu and Inosuke, well, I don't know. But
so without spoiling anything, the next arc is called the Swordsmith Village arc, because at the end of the season, or I'm sorry. Yeah. Didn't they say it? No. So that's all I'm saying. It's just called the Sword Village, the Swordsmith Village. That's it. Um, if I were someone who did not know what was going to happen, I would agree with you. I would say that that's probably where they're going to go. I would also say that you'll probably see a lot more of Tanjiro's fire, right? Um, this guy with the Miami Heat hat, and I'm a Knicks fan. It's because he lives in Florida, man. Harry, you are a legend. The one thing that I will say is I fully expect them, and as you know, if someone has not read the manga, you should definitely be get more and more intrigued as to what is up with Tanjiro and why does he have these ridiculous powers. Because remember when he sliced off Yutaro's head, that scar like covered half of his face, right? And when he was fighting Daki was scared. She was actually scared, but she wasn't even scared of Tanjiro, and it wasn't even her that was scared. It was Muzan seeing through Daki's eyes and being shook at what Tanjiro is becoming. So like that to me is probably going to be the most interesting thing to see how they animate it, how they explain it. I hope they stay true to the manga, which they have for the most part.
They have so far, right?
Yeah, they have so far. They've done an incredible job with that. If you have not read it, and Tanjiro and his sister relationship reminds me of my sister, only that she is the older one. It's so deep. Mental health is real. It is, sir.
It's real.
It is the way I see it, at least. Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I don't really like my sisters. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. If you're watching this, I'm just kidding. I love you both.
okay. Well,
you guys see
I
the
just
view
wanted
count
to
go
say-
from what just went down.
Okay, I just wanted to ask you guys, since you guys already read the manga, like, what is like a few keynote differences from the manga and anime? You know?
Not much.
Not much. Like they
keep it
no.
like
No.
really
Actually,
true
one
story.
thing that they have done different is that in the manga you read Nezuko's thoughts.
Oh yeah.
You can read Nezuko's thoughts, especially when she goes berserk and goes into that demon style. I forget what it is that she actually says.
Wow.
But she does say things, and like she talks to herself and whatnot. But that's like the only difference. Other than that, they have literally it's been like
kept it true to story.
Kept it true.
So cool.
The one thing that is awesome about seeing animated is in the manga you only see like a dragon and a still frame, but like in the anime
you see the
like, the whole motion, and you see like and it's crazy because so many people will say to me, well, why, if you already know, why are you watching it? I'm like, because I want to visually see what it is that I've already read, you know. It's like
because it was so long ago.
Yeah, but not even that. It's like reading a book and watching a movie. Like you want to see what it is that they are giving you. Ocean, do you have anything else to say? Would you like to give your final thoughts on here? And we'll answer any questions you have, Ocean.
Questions now.
Well, it's interesting that the writer is a female. I always ask myself, was the stereotype of why is a female rage on emotion? Certainly on that last episode. No, you don't. I don't know why you're sorry. Well, wait, hold on. Why is the female rage on emotion? But who are you talking about? Nezuko? Because she wasn't emotional. She was just trying to protect her brother.
Daki.
Oh.
Wait,
are you talking about Daki, or are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm confused by that.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna read it again. And okay. Well, it's interesting that the writer is a female. I always asked myself, was the stereotype of why is the female rage on emotion? Certainly.
Daki.
So he's talking about Daki. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Like maybe she was feeding into the stereotype to like attract the audience that would obviously gravitate to that.
I don't know. I feel like in a way, she's 13, so she's still a
Yeah,
kid.
she's
So
right.
when she lost, she was very upset, like a kid was, you know. And then like her older brother was super annoyed because she's like very immature and
Mhm.
she's very childish, and she's over here whining like, I lost, you
Yeah.
know, like a kid. So I feel like I feel it was more of like a childish thing rather than just like a female emotion. I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
That's
no,
what
no.
I took from it.
I agree with you. I think that when she got her head chopped off the first time before Gyutaro came out, I think that she threw a tantrum like my daughter throws a tantrum, and my daughter is 4, and like any little kid would throw a tantrum. I mean, we've all seen those kids at the supermarket that you look at them and you're just like, seriously, you know, it's just candy, but like they'll throw a tantrum.
Yeah.
We got it. We got a butt. Dot dot dot.
But
But
let's see it.
come on, Ocean. Let's see
Hold
it.
up.
Nightbot. No, I don't want to see that.
All right. Well, thank you for being here, Ocean. Even Nightbot says thank you. Make sure you subscribe. All right. Well, yeah. Any closing thoughts? Anything you want to wrap up with? Your socials, your plugs. This is your time.
Muscle mice.
Muscle
Can you
mice.
put a
mice.
picture
Muscle
of the
mice.
muscle mice by any chance?
Wait, dude, what did you say?
Can you put a picture of the muscle
Yeah,
mice?
let me find these muscle mice.
Like, that would be amazing. That's a
Demon.
great way to end it.
This is so ridiculous. There's muscle mice stickers. Oh my god.
Oh, I love it.
Need.
That's that. Let's go back to this
Watch.
scene. And then let's change the There they are. Muscle mice. That's the best picture I can get at the moment.
Oh, thank you. Let's go.
And I think the right characters. Yeah. So Ocean said there's a pattern. And I think the writer is eventually going to show that female characters in the show will flourish bigger than expected. I mean, you could even say that this season, because
Yeah.
because his wives, and Daki is the main villain, and then Nezuko, like it's not like she's taking away from the female characters. She is trying to empower them a little bit more, because whatever the calm wife's name is, I can't believe I forget her name.
Oh, it's
Maki?
It's
No, Makimo.
not Sudro.
Natsuro.
Inatsuro.
Natsuro.
Oh yes.
Inatsure.
Yeah, Hinatsuro. So she like just was poisoned, recovered herself, got up on top of the building and shot all those kunai. She has no sound abilities or anything like that. She's just a normal like shinobi who is like the top of her league, but not to fight demons. So and like she did something to help everybody else. I think that Ocean is right, especially with some of the characters. The female leads are going to get a little bit more time, and knowing what I know, I can say that it is going to happen. I love this anime only because the character build up the female supporting character eventually becoming the protagonist. Yes. Okay, Unknown, would you like to plug yourself or no?
Vicious Alpha on Instagram and Twitch. Twitter.
Oh, you tweeter? I didn't know you.
I'm a tweeter.
Oh, I didn't know you tweeter.
I'm a tweeter.
Barry.
Very quirky on Twitch, Instagram, Hover, YouTube, Twitter, basically anything that's a platform I'm on.
Dominicano.
Anything, everything. I think
You
I think
know-
the coffee app is also very quirky. So if you want to buy our coffee, go ahead. I'm Otaku Jedi. If you're here, you obviously already follow me. But if not, you know, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Guys, thank you so much for doing this with me. This was a lot of fun. And
Of course, always.
Who's adorable? Unknown is
talking-
adorable.
I know. Unknown is so
Unknown is so
adorable. Look
adorable.
at
Look at
that.
him. Look at
Aw. He's so adorable with his Knicks hat.
Ah,
Oh.
this guy. All right, guys. Bye.